Have you ever had that feeling, you're looking for that one perfect word to describe a situation, but it's just not there? Well, today, we are grabbing one of my all-time favorites. Let's get into it.
Okay, picture this. A full-blown internet war erupts over whether a celebrity wore the right color dress. Or maybe your neighborhood Facebook group just explodes because someone's trash cans were left out an hour too long. It's this huge, passionate, noisy commotion. But when you take a step back, the thing that started it all seems kinda tiny, right? So what do you even call that?
Well, lucky for us, the English language has gifted us the absolute perfect term for exactly this kind of wonderful, over-the-top chaos.
Brouhaha. Just say it out loud. Brouhaha. It's fantastic, right? It's a noun that perfectly nails that idea of a noisy uproar, a big hubbub, especially when the whole thing is kicked off by something that, in the grand scheme of things, really doesn't matter. It's kind of like the linguistic equivalent of a super dramatic sigh. So what are the essential ingredients for a genuine brouhaha? Let's pop the hood and really break down the anatomy of this amazing word.
You can really think of this word as having two different personalities. On one side, it's physical. It's the literal, jumbled, noisy confusion of sounds you'd hear from a chaotic crowd. But way more often, we use it figuratively. That's for the excited public fuss, the kind of controversy that blows up on social media every other hour.
And here is the absolute key. The word itself has a little bit of attitude. When you call something a brouhaha, you're almost always being informal, and you're hinting that the whole good deal is, well, a little bit silly, a bit unnecessary. It's a word with a built-in eye roll, which I think is just brilliant. It really says something about how we love to comment on our own drama.
Now, brouhaha doesn't travel alone. It's got some very noisy cousins. Think of words like hullabaloo, kerfuffle, hubbub, and uproar. They're all part of the same big, chaotic family. Kerfuffle has got to be another one of my favorites for sure.
So, where on earth did we get a word that sounds this strange and works this perfectly? Well, its origin story is a bit of a mystery, which honestly just makes it even cooler. We can trace it back pretty clearly to French in the late 1800s. No problem there. But before that, that is where things get really fun and the experts start to argue. You could even say there's a scholarly brouhaha about it.
Right now, there are three main theories about where the word really came from, and you're going to love this. They are wildly different. We've got the devil's cry, the Hebrew greeting, and, simply, the sound of noise. Okay, let's unpack these. First up, the most dramatic one, the devil's cry. Some linguists think the word comes from old medieval French plays where a character playing a devil would shout brouhaha to create chaos on stage. Super theatrical, right? Okay, next theory. It's a twisted, misunderstood version of the Hebrew phrase Baruch haba, which means blessed is he who comes. Now, how a beautiful blessing turned into a word for a silly uproar, that's anybody's guess. And finally, we have the simplest explanation. It's just onomatopoeia. It's a word meant to sound like what it is, the jumbled, messy sound of a disturbance, brouhaha.
All right, history lessons are great, but let's see how this word actually behaves out in the real world. It's time to go spot some brouhahas in the wild.
Here it is in the political arena. See how using brouhaha instead of, say, controversy or dispute completely changes the tone? It immediately suggests that the fight might be more noise and posturing than actual substance. It just adds that perfect little layer of absurdity.
And here we are, in the world's natural habitat for the 21st century. Seriously, social media is a non-stop brouhaha generating machine. A single tweet, a single comment can spark this massive public fuss that is completely out of proportion to the original event. This is the world's modern home.
And finally, let's bring it right back down to the local level. A decision by the town council, a passionate reaction from the community. Yep, that is the perfect recipe for a classic, good old-fashioned brouhaha, complete with packed meetings and angry letters to the editor.
So there you have it, the complete breakdown of a perfect word for a perfectly silly uproar. It's a word that does so much more than just describe noise. It captures our collective fascination with a little bit of drama. The next time you see a mountain being made out of a molehill, you'll know exactly what to call it. And that leads me to my final question for you. What is the most memorable, the most ridiculous brouhaha you have ever seen? Thanks for joining me on this explainer.